Peace, Daddy.
Peace, Rashida. What's up today?
Nothing much. What's up with you?
Hey, never been better because it's always the right time to share coffee together.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm repping Cal U. Cal U in the house. That's
Okay,
where your little
okay.
brother. That's where your little brother graduated from.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So I just want to introduce to the people my father, the first man I ever loved, but not the only, Jonathan C. Ray.
What up? What up? Hey, Rashida. I know today you got to share with the audience a funny story about a hat you were wearing. Go ahead, make it happen.
Okay, so I had a tam on, and I guess you can say it resembles the look of a chef hat. And I saw one of my patients, this same patient I saw yesterday, and I walked in the hallway to get her to come to the office today, and asked, she asked me if I was a chef.
Did she ask you what was for lunch? And you're a nurse practitioner, been that for quite some time, and you actually served her the yesterday, the night before. But hey, sometimes it's what you're wearing.
Sometimes you stand out more than the others. I guess that's what it is. So
So what are we
today,
gonna talk? Go
uh,
ahead. I'm sorry.
today we're talking about negativity. We're gonna say no to negativity.
Say no to negativity. I mean, too many times we let negative energy and negative people rob us from the energy that we have that allows us to plan new goals, reach new goals, and think about things that haven't ever been done before.
That's right, because when you want to grow, when you want to level up in life, you have to surround yourself in a different atmosphere because you have to prepare yourself to become the person that you need to be to be able to maintain those goals and dreams and aspirations you have set out for your life.
Absolutely. There's an old saying, one bad apple can make the whole bunch bad. And we see that in at work sometimes where people are just negative, and we see it sometimes in social groups. But it can also and often does come down to the individual level. And then we find that those people that are negative and spouting off that negative energy, it it zaps us. We were excited, and all of a sudden, we don't believe ourselves. I mean, there's some things we can do to guard against it. The first thing you can do is just guard your time. Don't let a person who's filled with negative energy come in and monopolize everything.
Definitely. One of my mentors talks about um, plan your week or your week will plan you. And you have to be able to say no to those phone calls that are coming in or those text messages that are coming in that aren't really helping you grow and aren't really helping you to become the person that um, you aspire to be. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, you gotta choose the attitude you want to take. I mean, really, if you allow people who are negative to dictate to you what you do, then you're allowing them to control your life. You're allowing them to be the one that dictates what you're going to do next. There's a saying that I kind of created recently, and it's like if it doesn't matter, don't make it matter. If it doesn't matter, don't make it matter. And what that means is if you really don't, it's not going to change your life. No matter what somebody gives you or says about you, if it doesn't matter, don't make it matter. That's how you control some of that negative energy.
Absolutely. And then another one that you kind of talked about a lot when I was growing up is control the controllables. And if you can, have full, complete control over your emotions and how you react to things, then it shouldn't matter how other people are reacting to whatever the situation is. And so you can your attitude can dictate how you feel, How you think can dictate anything when it comes down to it. So the attitude is very important in the grand scheme of things.
It is, and and another way of saying it is rejoice in your own thoughts. So
Mm,
don't get deterred when someone is giving you the business and telling you you can't do it. Have the confidence and belief that you can and you will make it happen. You're not bound by somebody else's thoughts. And the one thing we often forget when we're dealing with negative people is that we need to surround ourselves with positive people, people that are like minded, people that believe that they can change their predicament and move forward. Because really, there are no limits on us. We make our own limitations ourselves.
that's right. That's right. And anything that we have the power to think, we have the power to obtain. So even though we may have dreams of becoming a billionaire, that's not far fetched. We just have to put the work in and accomplish that, and then we can have whatever we desire. But the work is the key. It's the path that we have to fight through and stay consistent. And a lot of times that's where we fall off at, that consistency to stay true to what we want to have.
I was going to say just that. I mean, you really just have to believe and then find that pathway. And even if it's just 1% every day, I know you've been spouting that just 1% every day, and you'll make it there. You just have to find a pathway that actually leads to an outcome that you want, not just do anything, but find a pathway that's tested and proven, or one that you've created, but you've gone through the process to determine what's real and what isn't, and then stick to it. I mean,
Mhm.
sticking to it even when things don't work exactly the way you'd like.
That's true. And to touch on your point about being around energy givers, um, I've been around many different basketball teams where there were negative people on the team and there were positive people on the team. And I always seem to float to, whether they were good or not, float to the energy givers. And I tried to stay away from the energy takers because they weren't doing anything but taking my energy and making my thinking negative, regardless of how positive a situation could have been.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, I've had kids that we're down 5 points and they think the game's over and it's still the first half. So you're right. I mean, negative people, they can get you thinking that same way before you know it if you're not aware of it. And the one thing I think that is important to do is think about, hey, what's going on from their perspective. I
Mm.
mean, maybe they have a low self esteem, and or truly they really are not happy people. Sometimes trauma is a real thing, and understanding that helps you understand their position. The old saying, hey, they're just haters. Sometimes people are really just jealous and envious, and they can't help it, but that's who they are. Or there are times when people just can't articulate or communicate in a way that delivers a positive message. But I mean, those are all things that we can do to protect ourselves and insulate us, because that allows us to seek understanding and determine how we can avoid getting caught up in that negative frequency.
That's right. And it's a song that was made when I was growing up, and it goes something like this: haters, they're gonna hate, and players, they're gonna play. And that really, whenever someone is hating on me, I play that song in my mind over and over again because it's the truth. It's the truth. You can't stop anybody from hating on you. And realistically, if you don't have haters, you're not working hard enough.
Yeah, some people are just gonna look at you and just say, "Man, why does that person have it?" And they don't realize all the time and energy you put into realizing your goal and making it work. I mean, I talked about last week how, even going through a difficult pregnancy and really just a week before you gave birth, you still passed the nurse practitioner's exam and just drilled it because you had a goal, you focused on it, and you took the time to really make sure that goal came true. And I really think that it's important for us. to not allow other people's expectations, other people's thoughts control ours. And we need to make sure that we're strong in our convictions and we can move forward. Um, and finally, we need to recognize that our time and our energy is valuable because that energy allows us to accomplish things that are personal to ourselves and our family, but also it allows you in the world to reach your work expectations, to reach your career goals. And if you're thinking like Debbie Downer or anything like that, you're never going to realize your full potential.
That's right. And one of the most valuable things is time. And so when we waste our time having that negative outlook, when we waste our time not going for our dreams and our goals, then we are left with, oh, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. And one thing that I thank you for is no matter, I remember when I was in college and I asked you if I should do something, go out of town, and I had a test coming up, and you said, "Well, you can go, but make sure you're studying when you're out of town because you don't want to have the excuse for why you didn't pass and why you didn't do well. So you can do whatever you want to do, but make sure you put that work in between so you can accomplish your goals."
Right. You never want to have regrets. I mean, one time you were in the hospital. I was getting my master's degree,
Mhm.
and I said, I'm not going to have, and I had a test coming up, and I said, I'm not even going to think that Rashida had anything to do with my success or failure on this exam. And so I made sure that I took my notes and my book to the hospital, and there was not going to be any excuse or blame because really, it's that old saying that my mother used to tell me, if it's to be, it's up to me. And so when we think about our energy, holding on to it, the key is really to never ever limit your expectations and find positive people to be around so you can foster it. Sometimes, you know what? If somebody's negative, you should believe them because if they tell you something, that's who they are.
That's
And
right.
you have the advantage because you know that, and you can avoid situations where they're going to influence your expectations or the things you want to accomplish.
Wow, that's a good one. I think that, that sums up the saying no to negativity. And I think we have, brought the people a very good podcast and information that they can strive to um, bring to their own lives. So, on that note, Dad, peace.
I gotta say no to negativity and peace to the people, power to the people, and I love you, Rashida.
Love you too. Peace.
Peace.